Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Gemini, December 1, 2022. Today's Mercury-Mars opposition can pull up buried frustrations if you have them, especially in your social life or with projects that don't seem to be moving at the speed you'd like, with Mars currently retrograde and busy Mercury taking issue. Sharp words or disagreements can arise from tensions, but if you handle the pressure well, conflicts can motivate you to make important changes and adjustments. Once released, the mental tension of the day can, in fact, result in important conclusions. At the very least, it can alert you to the need to reduce stress levels or address issues more promptly as they arise. As the day advances, there's good energy for making sense out of something. It's a beautiful time to apply yourself to a goal or a practical project or fulfill your responsibilities. There can be a supportive rapport with others or helpful information shared that gives you an edge. Today's cosmic energy is one that is much easier to navigate. Mental Mercury, our planet of the mind and communication, is linking with our great taskmaster, Saturn, the planet of strength, who now orbits in your solar first house of identity and zodiac sign. You may now make a promise or plan in regard to love, marriage, or long-term planning that lasts forever. This would be especially true if it relates to one of your heartfelt hopes, dreams, or aspirations. If you are single, look for someone who has maturity, wisdom, and a solid foundation for their life. This person could bring you the support you need. Move forward with excitement about what is to come in your work life. There is so much that you can accomplish and explore when Mercury in Sagittarius opposes Mars retrograde in Gemini. Share your ideas with your work friends during this chatty opposition, especially if you are in between opportunities, ideas, or pursuits to commit to. Since Mercury also sextiles Saturn in your sign, you may find that it is relatively easy to consider others' opinions while still adhering to your judgment. After all, you will have the final say. In a case of perfect timing, the moon not only returns to your income sector today but in time to guide Jupiter into his final 3 weeks here. This first visit since Jupiter's direct turn last week is also the last before he leaves, and with Neptune turning direct over the weekend, the moon returns to ensure your nose for money is sharp as the tide turns and the push to bring this financial year home begins. You may finally have that revelation that has been eluding you. Your intentions and actions come together with the vocalization of your ideas. If your desire to help others is strong but you need help expressing that, consult someone you respect. Through the articulation of your thoughts, you will bring them closer to a reality that can be shared with others. It often helps to take a long walk in order to get your courage up. While giving is nothing new for you, this vibration asks that you explore the essence of giving on a far greater scale. Consider checking out the volunteer needs of your community if your schedule permits. There are many forms of volunteer work that are needed, from a one-time deal at Christmas time to ongoing activities, such as helping out at a food bank. See what you can do on this level and be sure to commit to only what you can realistically handle. In a case of perfect timing, the moon not only returns to your income sector in the heart of the working week but on the same day that Jupiter moves into his final 3 weeks here. It was only late last month that Jupiter retrograded back in for a double dip visit, but just 6 days after turning direct he is on his way out. However, with the moon returning to sharpen your nose for money and act as a trigger, there is a lot that the planet of luck and expansion can do in 21 days. Especially as Jupiter is now traveling over the same ground for the 3rd time. As the moon leaves Aquarius today, this will not only leave you more emotionally engaged but after a friendly aspect to Mars in your romantic sector yesterday, with a better read on the doors open to the past and second chances and support to push through roadblocks and barriers, whether real or imagined. This comes just as Mars' clash with Mercury is also challenging old excuses. Our eyes in the sky. Try to get in some light exercise before heading off to work, and try to avoid grabbing that extra cup of coffee or it could lead to a case of the jitters. Today has a cerebral vibe that might get the better of you, making it important that you ground yourself and focus on your breath throughout the day. Should you begin to feel overwhelmed, take a step back and rest, if only for a few minutes. Watch out for a communication breakdown this afternoon when the moon shares an off-kilter connection. Choose your words with care while this energy is present so you can avoid arguments. Your ability to understand any situation is good and you're able to undertake any sort of mental task. Equally, you're communicating without any difficulty, so possible negotiations or similar conversations turn out to be successful. You also find your general level of curiosity is heightened and you're keen to acquire knowledge and learn as much as you can. You apply yourself to a subject that has stimulated your interest over a sustained period. It's easier for you to obtain the necessary focus you need and you're more motivated than you have ever been before. Use this newfound enthusiasm and concentrate on making contacts to solve any outstanding issues needed for a successful outcome. Luckily, the energy transforms this evening, which should help you quickly release any unpleasant thoughts or situations you found yourself in today. The cosmic weather is quiet today, until Mercury in Sagittarius opposes retrograde Mars in Gemini, provoking a war of words. Offensive or defensive language is unlikely to help us make our point. We are nervous and quick to anger, and although we may have good talking points to back up our arguments, we are apt to flit from talking point to talking point without finishing our thoughts. Our inability to stay on topic means that civilized discussions can quickly devolve into yelling matches. We are still in a long lunar void, of course, which began last night, and must attempt to remain patient now, even if someone is intent on getting up in our faces. If possible, avoid electing this day to finally air out long-held grievances. Guard against the perils of extravagance and overindulgence in any way you can. Your current fantasies are unlikely to be fulfilled, they're just excessively optimistic. Try not to feel so dissatisfied with your circumstances and be as realistic as possible, instead of needlessly having such impractical feelings and yearnings that ultimately don't make you happy. If the response you get from prospective dates is not always positive, consider how your approach might be improved. You may want to ask what you could change about yourself. Becoming more self-aware can help you understand what to change or at least help you appreciate another's point of view or not. It will be hard interacting with people today. You overreact to the smallest things and feel completely misunderstood. It would do you good to take a step back, clear your thoughts and start tackling the arguments in a calmer way. In the late afternoon, the moon enters Pisces, ending its void of course which began late last night. Over the next 2 days, our creative and spiritual senses are enlivened. This is a time to trust our intuition, examine our subconscious workings, and get in touch with the numinous and liminal. It is an ideal lunar period for working with divination techniques like tarot or scrying. Artistic pastimes such as painting or making music are also favored. If we are stressed, bathing, showering, or relaxing near bodies of water can be rejuvenating.